Good morning. Welcome to Master Trader, where you can learn to use simple market and stock analysis to make money investing and trading. I'm Greg Capper, and today we're going to look at a buy signal that's setting up. I'd like to hear your opinions, whether you think this is a buy signal or not. Markets have been moving up for quite some time, and they've been consolidating now for about a month. And what you can see here is all these bottoming tail bars. I talked about that a couple of days ago, and the comment was, is the bottoming tail going to fail? Put in your comments, and some of you did. Thank you for that. Others are subscribing to the channel to get more updates. Appreciate it. So we got a little bit of a sell-off day before yesterday. Took out the low of the bottoming tails, and buyers stepped back up again. And, well, you know what happened yesterday. Things moved back up. So the bottoming tails have it. Buyers are stepping up, and now they're looking to take this market higher. They are a little tentative this morning, which is typically the case after a larger range day like we have right here, and it's up into the top of the range. So today is Friday, as you know, and it's also options expiration, so there's a tendency for prices to get stuck without a big move on options expiration. Part of the theory is that I didn't look at where the strike prices are, the largest in the S&Ps here, but the theory is that where the largest open interest is at that particular strike price is about where the markets and or a stock will gravitate toward to make the majority of options expire worthless. Not a nice thing for those option market makers to do. But that's part of the game and the market. So information to keep aware of if you're owning a particular strike. Getting through this range here, it certainly looks like that's going to happen. These bottoming tail bars here tell us that buyers keep stepping up. There was a little false move to the downside, and they came right back up again. So let's look at other markets, and then I'm going to look at the weekly charts with you. So here's the Nasdaq 100, or what's called the Qs, since its symbol is QQQ. And there was the next little bottoming tail bar that just did a little peekaboo under that low. And that happens a lot, whether you can say it's high-frequency trading or just nervous markets, what have you. But one of the buy signals that I really like, and I teach our students, is to look for the little breakdown failure. The little peekaboo under the low and then the recovery, because 90% of the time, after they get a little bit of a washout of those where they have their stops and it's taken out and there's a recovery, prices will go back up. And that doesn't matter whether it's the market or whether you're trading Apple or Intel or, well, I was going to say Snapchat, but that's a dog of another type. Doesn't seem like that's going to get out of the way, but we'll see. And so we got the Qs here right up against the new all-time high. Maybe it made a peekaboo yesterday. And the Russell recovered. This is the Russell 2000 stocks, the small cap. And that had a really nice recovery day. It held in the gap fill. So you should be aware of where there are recent unfilled gaps and some from the past, because at some point prices could get down there and then you need to be aware of it. You might not be looking at it. So now we've got a pretty large wall of resistance up here to deal with. I suspect today may be a choppy day, just based on that chart. The transports have a nice recovery. I mentioned they're coming down to the 200 on a prior video, and look for a turn there. A lot of simple things that we do work. What you don't see on my charts is indicators. You don't see oscillators. You don't see a lot of squiggly lines. You don't see diagonal trend lines. Folks, this is what the majority of traders do and analysts that you see on CNBC, and they can't make money if their life depended on it. They use these complex indicators and red light, green light systems. That's not what moves the markets. Okay, let's continue here. I'm going to show you the weekly charts because they're a little bit more interesting, because a buy setup we have here on the weekly chart, a pullback into support here on the transports and a green candle. Who cares what it's called? It's green after red, and it's in a pullback, and it's into this gap fill area. Disregard the moving averages. They move around when you change time frames. They don't necessarily relate. For that example, a 50 MA on a weekly is a 50 MA on the daily, but that is another part of the education that we do at Master Trader. How to understand that. The Qs marching up in a grind to new all-time highs. bullish. The Russell, a buy signal here that's a rounding kind of a top, or a squarish top. Not the best, just means it'll probably stall a bit or have a difficult time to get through it. And the spiders, let's get rid of our little comments there, are full of those bottoming tails from the daily. And now we've got a bottoming tail on the weekly. So all of this suggesting that prices can go higher into the end of the year, whether that's going to be our Christmas rally or a turkey dinner, meeting a turkey. Maybe it comes back in again, but we'll see. Right now, everything is pointing toward higher prices. However, this morning, it's a bit of a chop here, and I'll show you the futures right there. Now, this chart encompasses 24 hours of trading, and so you get a different look since it doesn't have the gap. But this was the poke down under the support, and then this potent or powerful reversal, and historically these are followed by consolidation days. So unless you've got a stock that's gapping here this morning and it's moving to trade, maybe in the morning, you might want to take the rest of the day off after the first hour and enjoy the weekend. Many times this is a consolidation day. If you like sitting at the computer and seeing what moves or not and where the opportunities are, hang out. Other than that, guys, have a great trading day. Come over to mastertrader.com. Of course, subscribe to the channel. If you're interested in a free course to learn the foundation of the markets and technical analysis and a little bit about options, that course is free, and I will post the link below. Have a great day.